Hello everyone, myself Dr. Radha Goyal. Today I am here to discuss the blood topic of human anatomy and physiology. In this lecture I will discuss the blood compositions, functions and how the blood cell is going to be formed, that is hemopoiesis. So students, let's start. Blood. Blood is a connective tissue that consists of cell. You all very well know that blood is only a connective tissue, liquid connective tissue that flows in our body throughout your body and connects your whole body together. It provides means of communication between the cells of different parts of the body and the external environment. Only blood is the means of communication in your body. That means you can communicate your different parts of your body through the blood. It is composed of liquid matrix called blood plasma that dissolve and suspends various cell and the cell fragment. Means this is a blood plasma. Now what is a blood plasma? Blood plasma is your blood minus your blood cells that dissolve and suspend various cell and the cell fragment. That means the blood consists of blood plasma that having your cell and the cell fragment. Now the physical characteristic of the blood. Blood makes up about 7% of body weight, that is about 5.6 liter in a 70 kg of man. This proportion is less in women and greater in the children. Blood is denser and more viscous, thicker than the water and feels slightly sticky. It is a denser and more viscous, means the blood viscosity is higher. The temperature of the blood is 38 degree centigrade, that is about 1 degree centigrade higher than oral and rectal body temperature. That means the rectal temperature and the oral temperature, that is a 37 degree centigrade, and the temperature of the blood is 38 degree centigrade. The blood has slightly alkaline pH. The range is 7.35 to 7.45. The blood volume is 5 to 6 liter in average size adult male and 4 to 5 liter in an average size adult female. The gender difference is due to the difference in body size. As we know, the surface area of the female is less than the surface area of the male. This means due to this difference in the surface area, the blood volume difference is also there. Now, the color of the blood varies with its oxygen content. When the blood is saturated with your oxygen, it is bright red in color, and when it is unsaturated with oxygen, it is dark red in color. Now what is hematology? Logy means study. Logy means study and hem means blood. The branch of science concerned with the study of blood, blood forming tissues and the disorder associated with them is hematology. Means hematology deals with the blood forming tissue and the disorder associated with them is called hematology. Now the functions of the blood. Mainly the blood has three functions. first one is the transportation, second one is the regulation, and the third one is the protection. Now we will start with the first function, that is transportation. Blood transport oxygen from the lungs to the cell of the body and carbon dioxide from the body cell to the lungs for exhalation. You know very well that the blood is only means of transport in your body which can transport oxygen and carbon dioxide to your body. Oxygen is essential for your body, that should be inhaled, and carbon dioxide that should be exhaled from your body, because the carbon dioxide is acidic in nature and that can imbalance your blood pH. Moreover, the blood also carries nutrients from the GIT tract. The nutrients which are going to be absorbed from the GIT by your digestion, that should be reached to your tissue, and that is only through your blood. The blood reaches these nutrients to the body cells, and hormones which are secreted from the endocrine glands directly into your blood, that is to the body cell. Now the third one, blood also transport heat and waste product. How heat? Heat, the blood carries about 90 to 90% of your water, and through this the heat can be transported, and the waste product, that is urea, uric acid, creatinine, that should be reached to eliminating organ for your elimination. So the transportation, blood transport oxygen from the lungs to the body tissue and carbon dioxide from the body cells to the lungs. It also carry the nutrients and it also transport the heat and the waste products. Now the next one is the regulation. Blood maintain homeostasis of all body fluids. Homeostasis means your balance between your internal environment as well as the external environment, or you can say the balance between your internal environment with the external environment. Blood also helps to regulate your pH. As I told you earlier that the carbon dioxide is present in your blood, which is acidic in nature, and that can alter the blood pH. So blood helps to regulate the pH by eliminating or exhaling your carbon dioxide from your body. It also helps to adjust the body temperature through the heat absorbing and coolant property of the water in the blood plasma. As it contains the water, blood contains the water, or the blood plasma contains the water, it has heat absorbing and the coolant property, and it is variable rate of flow through the skin, whereas excess heat can be lost from blood to the environment. Through the skin, the excess heat can be lost from the blood to the environment through your sweating. Now next function, that is a protection. Blood can clot. Blood has the clotting factor which can clot your blood. When you have a excessive injury and excessive bleeding, the blood can clot after some time due to the presence of your clotting factor. If this clotting factor is absent, then the excessive bleeding can cause to the death to the person. Now the white blood cells, which is a blood cell which is present in your blood, that protect against the disease by carrying on phagocytosis. Next one is the several type of blood proteins including antibodies, interferons help to protect against the disease. Blood produce antibodies against the some antigens which protects our body from the many diseases. Now, the composition of the blood. Blood consists of blood plasma and the formed element. Blood is composed of straw-colored transparent fluid, a watery liquid matrix that contain the dissolved substances. Means blood plasma, that is your blood minus में your formed element. Now the formed elements, which are the cell and the cell fragment, that is RBC, WBC and the platelets. This means the blood is about 45% of the formed element and 55% of your plasma. Now the blood plasma. When the formed elements are removed from the blood, that means blood minus cell, your formed element, that means this is called your plasma, which is a straw color liquid, that is called blood plasma. This blood plasma that has 90 to 92% of water and the dissolved substances. In these dissolved substances, they are the plasma proteins. First one is a plasma proteins. Plasma proteins, they are too large to escape through capillary pores into the tissue. That's why they maintain the osmotic pressure of your blood. Now come to the second one, albumin, globulin, fibrinogen and the clotting factors. They are the some plasma proteins which are present in your blood. Now second one is the inorganic salt. Inorganic salt like your sodium chloride, sodium bicarbonate, potassium, magnesium, phosphate, iron, calcium, copper, iodine and cobalt. These mineral salts, these inorganic salts, they are necessary for your muscle contraction. They are necessary for your muscle contraction and for your transmission of your neurotransmitters and many more. Now the composition of plasma. Next here is a nutrient material. Food which is digested in your alimentary canal, that is going to contain some nutrient like your monosaccharide, amino acid, fatty acid, glycerol and vitamins. These also present in your blood plasma. Organic waste materials, example urea, uric acid and creatinine. Hormones which is essential for your growth and development. Enzymes which catalyze the reactions, for example certain clotting factors, and the gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide and nitrogen. So this is your whole plasma compositions. First one, water, that is 91.5%. That consists of your liquid portion of your blood, and the main function is to absorb, transport and release the heat, as well as it is a solvent and suspending medium. Now next one is the plasma protein, which is 7% of your blood plasma. They are produced by the liver and they are responsible for osmotic pressure. As I told you that these plasma proteins, they are not able to escape through capillaries in the tissue. That's why they maintain the osmotic pressures. They also contribute to the blood viscosity. Blood viscosity is also essential, which is going to measure the body response to some disease, transport the hormones, fatty acid, calcium, and it also regulates the blood pH. First plasma protein is albumin, that is the smallest and most numerous plasma protein. It helps to maintain osmotic pressure, an important factor in exchange of fluid across blood capillary wall. Next plasma protein is the globulin. This is a large protein, and these plasma cells produce the immunoglobulin. Immunoglobulin helps attacks virus and bacteria, and alpha and beta globulin transport iron, lipid and fat soluble vitamins. Next plasma protein is fibrinogen. This is again a large protein and play essential role in the blood clotting. Now come to the other solutes. For example, it is these other solutes, they are about 1.5%. They are the electrolyte, nutrient, gases, regulatory substances and the waste product. Electrolytes, they are the inorganic salts, they are the positively charged as well as the negatively charged. Again, they help to maintain osmotic pressure and play essential roles in the cell functions. Cell functions like your contraction of your muscles, like your release of neurotransmitters. Nutrients, they are the product of digestions such as the amino acid, glucose, fatty acid, glycerol, vitamins and minerals, and they are essential in cell function, growth and development. Next one is the gases. Gases are the oxygen, carbon dioxide and the nitrogen. Oxygen and carbon dioxide, they can combine with your blood. But nitrogens, they are absorbed in the blood as the other gases and its function is unknown. Oxygen, that is important for many cellular functions, and carbon dioxide to maintain your blood pH. And nitrogen, they have the known functions. Now come to the regulatory substances. These are enzymes, hormones and vitamins. Enzymes, they catalyze the reactions. Hormones, they regulate metabolism, growth and development. And the vitamins, they are the cofactor for enzymatic reactions. Now the waste products, urea, uric acid, creatine, creatinine, bilirubin and the ammonia. These waste products, they should be eliminated from your body, and they are the breakdown product of your protein metabolism, and they are reached to the organ of excretion only through your blood. Now come to the next part of your composition of your blood, that is a formed element. Blood consists of plasma and formed element. Now the second one is the formed element. There are basically three principal components in the formed element. They are the blood cells, red blood cells, white blood cells and the platelets. Out of which red blood cell, white blood cell, they are the whole cells, while the platelets, they are the cell fragment. The red blood cell, or you can say the erythrocytes, they transport oxygen from the lungs to the body cells and deliver carbon dioxide from the body cell to the lungs. Now the white blood cells, other name of white blood cells are the leukocytes. They protect the body from invading pathogens and other foreign substances. They protect us from many diseases. There are several types of WBCs. They are the neutrophils, basophils, eosinophils, monocytes and lymphocytes. Now come to the platelets. Platelets, they promote blood clotting when blood vessels are damaged. Now this is your summary of your blood composition. Blood consists of formed element and the plasma. 45% of the blood is made up of your formed element, while 55% of your blood is made up of your plasma. Formed element consists of platelets, red blood cell and white blood cell. 4.8% platelets is present in a formed element, while 5.1% is of red blood cell and only 0.1% is your white blood cell. White blood cells, they are the neutrophil, eosinophil, basophil, monocytes and lymphocytes. 47 to 72% of WBCs are the neutrophils. 0.5 to 5% of WBCs are the eosinophils. Less than 1% of white blood cells are the basophils. 3 to 11% of WBCs are the monocytes, and 19 to 37% of WBCs are the lymphocytes. Now come to the plasma. This is 55% of your blood. It consists of electrolytes, water, protein, waste, nutrients and gases, out of which 92% is the plasma and 7% are the protein. Proteins are the albumin, globulin and fibrinogens. Nutrients are the vitamins and the hormones, and the gases are the nitrogen, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Now come to the hemopoiesis. The process of blood cell formation is called hemopoiesis and take place within the red bone marrow. All blood cells originate from the pluripotent stem cell and go through several development stages before entering the blood. Before birth, hemopoiesis first occurs in the yolk sac of an embryo and later in the liver, spleen, thymus and the lymph nodes of the fetus. Red bone marrow becomes the primary site of the hemopoiesis in the last 3 months before birth, and it continues as the source of blood cell after birth and throughout the life. In the infants, the red blood bone marrows, they are the active. They can produce a lot of red blood cells. But after some time, as the individual ages, the red bone marrow is replaced by the yellow bone marrow. But if there is a severe bleeding or some chronic diseases, the red bone marrow is replaced again by the yellow bone marrow and repopulate your pluripotent stem cells. Red bone marrow is highly vascularized connective tissue and are derived from the mesenchyme and are called the pluripotent stem cells. Now, all the blood cells, they originate from your pluripotent stem cells. Pluripotent stem cells, they are reproduce, differentiate into your red bone marrow. They are divided into myeloid stem cell and the lymphoid stem cell. Myeloid stem cell, they start its development into the red bone marrow and completes its development itself into your red bone marrow. While the lymphoid stem cell, they start its development into the pluripotent stem cell but complete its development into the lymphoid tissue. Myeloid stem cell further divide into many cells and they form the precursor cells like your proerythroblast, megakryoblast, myeloblast and monoblast. They all are the precursor cells, while the lymphoid stem cells, they form the precursor cell, that is lymphoblast. These all precursor cells, they are further divide many times. They are further divide many times and forms the immature cells like reticulocytes and form the immature cells like the reticulocytes, and they are going to be mature into erythrocytes after 1 to 2 days within your blood circulation. Megakryoblast, they form the megakryocytes and forms the thrombocytes. Myeloblasts, which is a precursor cell and divide many times and form the basophil myelocytes, eosinophil myelocytes, neutrophil myelocytes, which give rise to basophil, eosinophil, neutrophils respectively. While the monoblasts give rise to monocytes, and the lymphoid stem cell that forms the lymphoblast, which is a precursor cell, and give rise to lymphocyte, which is again of two types, T lymphocytes and the B lymphocyte. So students, how the red blood cell, white blood cells and your lymphocytes are formed by your pluripotent stem cell. This is called your hemopoiesis. These are the references which I have followed for this preparation, for this lecture, Tortora as well as the Ross and Wilson. Thank you.